You guys, are you fine? I'm Jana Ahmed Sadiq and today's model is physics. Now the first question says an object at rest remains at rest in the absence of the net external force according to what? The first law of Newton or second law of Newton or third law of Newton or action reaction forces? Actually here it says an object at rest remains at rest in the absence of the net external force. So that means is the first law of Newton. So now the correct answer for question number 1 is A. Now in question number 2 it says we use a single fixed pulley as dash since we apply a downward effort to raise a load. Okay, here when he said we use a single fixed pulley, okay, as dash since we apply a downward effort to raise a load. So that means it is a work multiplier, right? It is a work multiplier. Now question number 3 says which one of the following is grouped under contact forces? Here we have gravitational force, magnetic force, elastic force and electric force. Gravitational force and magnetic force and electric force are non-contact forces, but elastic force, yes, it is contact forces. So C is the best choice for question number 3. In question number 4 it says identify a symbolic diagram that represents a simple electric circuit element called resistors. Which one of the symbol here? We have 4 symbols. He said identify a symbolic diagram that represents a simple electric circuit element called resistor. We want to find the symbol of resistor. Here it is the switch. Here it is the bulb. And this is the battery. And this one is the resistance. So B is a symbol of resistor. Okay, now question number 5 it says which one of the following pair of physical quantities contains both derived quantities? Okay, here what we have acceleration and mass, we have pressure and temperature, temperature and length, volume and pressure. Okay, acceleration and mass, I think no, because acceleration, yes, is derived, but mass is physical. And he said it must be both of the choices or both are derived quantities, right? So we have one physical quantity and one derived quantity, so no, it's not correct. And then we have in choice B pressure and temperature. Pressure, yes, it's derived quantity, but temperature, no, because temperature is a physical quantity from the fundamental physical quantity. Okay, the same thing with C. There is temperature and length, both of them. Wait, temperature, yes, but length, not sure about it. Temperature, yes, is a physical quantity, not derived. So choice C not correct also. But we have here volume and pressure. Yes, volume, it is meter cube, and pressure, that's force over mass, I mean force over area. So yes, volume and pressure, both of them are derived physical quantities. So the correct answer for question number 5 is D. Now question number 6 says if a large number n having n zeros starts with a single digit integer d between 0 and 10, the scientific notation of n is given by what? N times d is the power of 10 or d times 10 to the power of n, or n times d the power of times 10 to the power of d, or d times n to the power of 10. Here he said if a larger number n, okay, and he said to find the scientific notation, and we have a single digit integer which is d between 0 and 10, and we have n zeros, so that means choice B, it will be the best answer. That's d times 10 to the power of n. Okay, so this was for 6 questions, their answers. Solve it together now. Now let's go for the next question. In this question, we have question number 7. It says we have a collection of 8 quintals of wheat flour and 3,000 kilograms of teff flour in our school store for the school feeding program. Okay, the total mass of both the wheat and teff flour in the store is equal to what? Okay, first of all, here it says 8 quintals, but we have here 3,000 kilogram. When we convert kilogram to ton, because here in the choices we need ton, right? And he said the total mass of the both weight and teff flour in the store is equal to what? Ton. Now from 3,000 kilogram to ton, it will be 3 ton. That means 3,000 kilogram is equal to 3 ton. Okay, so that means we will convert 3,000 kilogram into 3 ton. Okay, after having 3 ton of teff flour in our school store for the school feeding program, the total mass of the both the weight and teff, it will be 38 tons. Okay, now question number 8, it says which one of the following is correct about distance and displacement between 2 points? Here in the first choice it says distance is defined as a displacement in a fixed direction, and in B we have magnitude of displacement can be greater than distance. In C we have distance can be greater than magnitude of displacement, and in D we have displacement is a scalar but distance is a vector quantity. Okay, first of all, the first one, which says distance is defined as a displacement in a fixed direction, it's not correct. And in B we have magnitude of displacement can be greater than distance. No, the magnitude of distance is greater than displacement. And in choice D, what we have, displacement is a scalar but distance is a vector quantity. No, displacement is vector quantity and distance is a scalar quantity. So that means the correct choice for question number 8 is C. Distance can be greater than magnitude of displacement, because displacement is the short of distance. Now question number 9, it says a displacement in science that specifically studies electric charges at rest is what? Electrodynamics or magnetism or electrostatics or electricity? The answer is electrostatics. Why? Because he says charges at rest. When it studies electric charges at rest is electrostatics. In question number 10 it says, which one of the following is true about magnetic lines of force outside of the paramagnet? Magnetic lines of force emanate from South Pole, or magnetic lines of force can never cross each other, or magnetic lines of force sink into the North Pole, or their density increases as we go far away from poles. The correct one between the four choices is B, that it is magnetic lines of force can never cross each other. So the correct one for question number 10 is choice B. Now question number 11 it says, which one of the following devices does not operate by using atmospheric pressure? It will be bulb, because atmospheric pressure we can use like in syringe, siphon, straw, but bulb, no, it's not bulb, it's in circuits. So the one which is not operated by using atmospheric pressure is A. Now question number 2 says, the dimensions of a rectangular block are measured to be 2 cm and 4 cm and 8 cm, right? With its mass being 48 grams. The density of the block is equal to what? First of all, we will times 2 cm times 4 cm times 8 cm. Then we will get 64. We will get 64 centimeter cube. After that, what we will do, we have 48 grams, right? So that means we'll make 48 divided by 64, which means mass divided by volume. It will be 48 over 64. Then divide it. When you will divide it, you will get 3 over 4. 3 over 4. And by decimal, it will be 0.75. By decimal, it will be 0.75 gram over centimeter cube. So the correct answer for question number 2 is 0.75 gram over centimeter cube. Now let's go for the question number 13. And question number 13, it says what? Identify a correct statement about lenses. Concave lenses from real images, convex lenses converge light, concave lenses converge light, or convex lenses diverge light. The correct answer will be D. Convex lenses diverge light because it is diverging. So the correct one for question number 13 is choice D. Now question number 14, it says a car of mass 600 kg is accelerating uniformly in a straight line. What would be its kinetic energy when its velocity is 20 meters per second. First of all, the formula of kinetic energy is equal to 1/2 times mass times speed squared. Okay, now we have the speed, which is 20, and we have the mass, which is 600 kilogram. So we need to find kinetic energy. Now kinetic energy, it will be how? Kinetic energy is equal to 1/2 times 600 times 20 squared, which it will be 400. Okay, then cut 2 by 600, here by 1, and here by 300. Right? Then what we will get? We will get 12,000. Okay. After getting 1,000, 12,000. We can make by 3 zeros, it will be kilo, and here 120 kilojoule. Now we have the answer, which is choice C. So that means choice C is the correct answer for question number 14. Now question number 15, it says which one of the following is correct about the nature and operation of fuse in an electric current? The first choice, it says what fuse has a very high melting point, and in the second choice we have fuse keeps the circuit closed at all times, or fuse is made up of an insulating material, or fuse melts when high current flows throughout it. The correct one is D. Fuse melts. Why? Because when high current flows throughout it. So question number 15, its answer is D. Now question number 16 says slope of a velocity time graph gives what? Acceleration, average velocity, displacement, or total distance? Here's a graph of velocity, which is meter per second, and here we have time, which is by second. After dividing it will be meter per second square, and this unit is the acceleration unit. So the correct answer for question number 16 is A, acceleration. Now question number 17, it says a power magnet and solenoid with an iron core electromagnet are different in that power magnets are characterized by what, unlike the electromagnets? Here we have permanent magnetism and fixed polarities, or permanent magnetism and changing polarities, or temporary magnetism and fixed polarities, or temporary magnetism and changing polarities. So the correct answer is D. Why? Because temporary magnetism and changing polarities. Now let's go for question number 18. In question number 18, it says a bus moves from point A to the next point P in a straight line and the displacement versus time graph is given below. this graph. What is the average velocity of the path? So that means we are gonna to find the average velocity for question number 18. Okay. In average velocity, VAV, first of all, what we have here, we have in time initial 2 and in time final 10. Okay, we have the distance of 5 and 25, which is initial and final. So that means what will make VAV is equal to 25 minus 5 over 10 minus 2. 10 minus 2. Then the answer, it will be 20 over 8. That means when we will divide, it will be 5 over 2. So that means 5 over 2 in its decimal, it will be 2.5 meter per second. So the correct answer for question number 18 is B. Now question number 19, it says sound is produced by series of vibrations of dash in musical instruments such as guitar and kirar. Of course it will be string, right? Because sound is produced by series of vibrations of string. So the correct answer for question number 19 is string. Now question number 20, shadow is formed behind opaque objects because light travels in a curved path, or light passes through opaque objects, or light partially passes through them, or light travels in a straight line. The answer is D. Light travels in a straight line. Now question number 21, it says heat energy reaches the surface of the earth by the energy transfer mechanism called what? Evaporation, radiation, conduction, or convection? He said energy transfer. Energy transfer mechanism called radiation, because he said heat energy reaches the surface of the earth by the energy transfer mechanism called radiation. Okay, now let's go for question number 19. Let's go for question number 21. 22. Now question number 22, we know that evaporation and boiling are the two process of changing liquid into gaseous state. Which one of the following sentences correctly stated to differentiate these two processes? The first one says evaporation has no fixed temperature, unlike boiling. Evaporation takes place throughout the liquid but boiling on surface, or boiling has cooling effect on a body, unlike evaporation. And D, which is boiling is affected by wind but evaporation does not. So the correct answer for question number 22 is A, that evaporation has no fixed temperature, unlike boiling. Okay, now question number 23. Here, let's make and question number 3 says pressure in a liquid at rest in a container is affected by what? The shape of the container, the size of the container, volume of the confined liquid, or the depth from top of the liquid. Of course it will be the depth, right? The depth from top of the liquid, which is affected. That pressure in a liquid at rest in a container is affected by this thing, the depth from top of the liquid. Now question number 24 says, images formed by concave mirror cannot be what? Real and smaller size than the object, or real and larger size than the object, or virtual and smaller size than the object, or virtual and larger size than the object. Which one will be the correct answer? It will be C, which is virtual and smaller size than the object. So the correct answer for question number 24 is C. Now question number 25, it says that magnets are not used in construction of what? Generators, electric motors, batteries, or electric bulbs. Of course it will be electric bulbs, right? Because it's in circuits. Okay, now in question number 26. In question number 26 it says what? A block of 6 kg mass is moving on a horizontal floor with constant velocity under the action of a horizontal force, where the coefficient of friction between the block and the floor is 0.2. What is the force of friction that opposes the motion of the block? And also use gravity, which is expression 10 meters per second square. Now we have the choices, which is 1.2 Newton, 12 Newton, C which is 60 Newton, and 2.0 Newton. First of all, the formula for friction. Here for friction, friction is equal to the coefficient times mass times gravity. So that means we have the coefficient, which is 0.2, the coefficient of friction, which it will be 0.2 times 6, then times 10, which it will be 60 Newton, right? 0.2 times 6 times 10, it will be 60 Newton. Now question number 27, it says resistance of a conductor what? A, varies directly with cross-sectional area, or varies inversely with length of the conductor, or varies inversely with cross-sectional area, or varies with similar trend both with area and length. The answer, it will be varies inversely with cross-sectional area. Varies inversely with cross-sectional area. Okay, so that means the correct one, which is, it will be C. But before going to question number 28, in question number 26 there's something wrong, that it will not be 60 Newton, it will be 12 Newton. Why? Because when we will use the formula for friction is equal to coefficient times mass times gravity, as we said before, it will be 0 0.2 times 6 times 10, right? So that means cut 0 by 0, and we have 2 times 6. 2 times 6 is equal to 12 Newton. So the correct answer for question number 26 is B, which is 12 Newton. Okay, now in question number 28 says the temperature of 0.6 kilogram object rises from 12 degrees Celsius to 16 degrees Celsius. What is the heat energy absorbed by the object? And take C, which it will be 400 joule over kilogram degrees Celsius. Now, as we know, the formula Q is equal to M times C times the change of temperature. Now then what we will do, here it will be mass, which is 0.6 kilogram, right? 0.6 kilogram times C, which is 400 and the change of temperature, that means final temperature minus initial temperature. So that means what we have in final 16 degrees Celsius, and in initial we have 12 degrees Celsius. So that means when you subtract 16 and 12 together, you will get 4 degrees Celsius. So that means times the change of temperature, it will be 4 degrees Celsius. Then we will multiply all of the following. 0.6 times 400 times 4. First of all, we will cut 0 by 0. Then that means 6 times 40 times 4. So that means as the last answer we have 960 joule. So the correct answer for question number 28 is A. Now let's go for question number 29. In question number 29 says what? Three similar sound sources S1, S2, S3 and three students A, B, C are arranged at equal distance from their respective sources as shown in the diagram below. Okay, now here if similar sound is generated by all the sources at the same instant, then student C hears the sound first, or student B hears the sound first, or student A hears the sound first, or student B hears the sound next to C. The answer is C, which is the student A hears the sound first because it's copper, which means solid. Water is a liquid. Oxygen is a gas. So that means the correct answer for question number 29 is C. Now question number 30 says if a 75 kilogram astronaut has landed on Mars, where acceleration due to gravity is 1/3 that on the Earth, hence the weight and mass of the astronaut on Mars are dash and dash respectively. Take acceleration due to gravity on the Earth to be equal to 10 meters per second square. Now what we will do here, first of all we know that I is equal to Q over T, right? Q over T, and we have Q which is equal to IT. Okay, This question for question number 31. But the first one, which is for question number 30, we'll find weight is equal to what? 75, which means mass, times 1/3, which is the gravity is 1/3, and times 10, because we have already here take acceleration due to gravity on the earth to be equal to 10 meters per second square. So that means here by 1, here by 25 times 10, it will be 250. Okay, so that means the correct answer, it will be 250 and 75 kilogram. Okay, now question number 31, it says remembering the second, which is S, and column, which is C. The SI unit of electric current is ampere, is equal to what? Of course it will be coulomb over second square, over second. So the correct answer, it will be D, because I is equal to C over S, which is coulomb over second, or I, its formula is Q over T, right? And Q, its formula is coulomb, and T, its SI unit is second. So that means I, which is current, is equal to coulomb over second. So the correct answer for question number 31 is D. Now let's go for question number 32. In question number 32, it says in a hydraulic press, the small and the large pistons have areas of 5 centimeter cube, square, and 200 centimeter square, respectively. If a force of 40 Newton is applied on a small piston, what load can it lift up? First of all, the formula. Here's the formula, which is F1 over A1 is equal to F2 over A2. Okay, now what we have in place of A1, F1 is 40, right? 40 over, in A1 we have 5 centimeter cube, centimeter square. So that means 5 is equal to F2, we don't know, so we'll write F only, over 200 centimeter square. Then we can multiply or crisscross. F times 5, 40 times 200, then is equal to 1600. So that means the correct answer, it will be the choice B. Now question number 33. According to the laws of reflection, angle of incidence may be greater than angle of reflection, or angle of incidence may be less than angle of reflection, or angle of incidence and that of reflection are always equal, or the incidence ray and the normal line lie in different planes. Here's the answer. It will be C, which is angle of incidence and that of reflection are always equal. Now question number 34. Which one of the following statements correctly describes heat and temperature? Both heat and temperature are measured hotness or coldness. Both temperature and heat are forms of energy in transfer, or temperature is measured with calorimeter, but heat with thermometer, or heat is derived physical quantity but temperature is fundamental. The correct answer is D. Heat is derived physical quantity. Yes, and temperature is from the 7 fundamental quantities. So the correct answer for question number 34 is D, which is correct about heat and temperature. Now question number 35. In question number 35 it says a car is accelerating uniformly from rest according to a motion recorded to the table below. That's this table. Okay, the acceleration of the car is equal to what? Here, if we see the difference, here by 1, here by 3, here by 1, here by 3, here by 1, and here by 3, here by 1, and here by 3. So that means the acceleration of a car is equal to 3 meters per second square, right? Because acceleration is equal to speed over time. So that means the correct answer for question number 35 is B, which is 3 meters per second square. That means constant here. Okay, now in question number 36, here what we have, the motion of a car from t, which is equal to 0, and t is equal to 6 seconds on a straight line, is described by a velocity time graph as shown below. Okay, the total distance traveled in this time interval is equal to what? Here first of all what we have 10, right? Here we have 10 and we have 6. So when we multiply 10 by 6 it will be 60, right? So that means the correct answer for question number 36 is 60 meters. Okay, in question number 37, although it is transformed from one place, from one form to another, energy can what? Neither be destroyed nor created. Yes, this is the law of energy. A is the correct answer. Now question number 38, an electric lamp is labeled as 200 volt, 40 watt. What is the resistance of the filament of the lamp? Here what we have, the formula of power. Power is equal to V squared over R, which is resistance. So that means, a volt, it will be 200 times 200 over what we have here, 40. So the last answer it will be 1000 ohm, because we want to find resistance, right? If we make a crisscross to be placed down, power, it will be down, and R is equal to V squared over P. So that means 200 times 200 over 40. Then cut 0 by 0, and after multiplying it, you will get 1000. So the correct answer for question number 38 is choice C, 1000 ohm. Now question number 39, it says what would be the amount of current flow if a 20 ohm resistor is connected to 5 volt power supply? Okay, in question number 39 is asking about milliampere, right? So that means volt, we have volt is equal to IR, which is current times resistance. But for I, we can find, we have volt and we have ohm. So that means it will be V over R. So that means 5 over 20 ohm. So that means it will be 250 milliampere. So that means the correct answer for question number 39 is B. Now in question number 40. In question number 40 says a load of 500 Newton is raised by applying an effort of 125 Newton using the lever system as shown below. Okay, the mechanical advantage of the velocity ratio of the machine are dash and dash respectively. Are what? First of all, you calculate to find the numbers. What we have here for mechanical advantage? Mechanical advantage, it will be 500 over 500, that means Newton, over 125, because load over effort. 500 over 125. So that means the answer it will be 4. Okay, and for velocity ratio, it will be the distance of effort over distance over load. So that means 150 over 30, cut 0 by 0 and here by 1 and here by 5. So that means velocity ratio is equal to 5 and mechanical advantage is equal to 4. Here say mechanical advantage first, then velocity ratio. So that means respectively it will be D. Right, for mechanical advantage we have 4 and for velocity ratio we have 5. Okay, now in question number 41 it says dash is a device that we use to convert mechanical energy to electrical energy, which is generator. Okay, now here we have 42. A transformer is designed to give an output of 800 volts with an input of 160 volts. If the number of turns in the input coil is 600, how many turns should the output coil have? Now what we will do, the formula for output coil and input coil. here I will make it down here. So that means NS over NP is equal to Vs over Vp, and if we placed the numbers on their symbols, it will be 800 over 100 is equal to NS over 600. Now what we'll do, first of all, we'll multiply, or we can crisscross. After crisscrossing, you will get 3000. You will get 3000. Why? Because it will be 480,000 over 16. Here by 3, here by 1, and here by 3, so that means it will be 3000. So the correct answer for question number 42 is A. Okay, now question number 43. The temperature of an object is measured to be 353 Kelvin in Kelvin scale. If converted to other scales, this temperature is equal to what Fahrenheit or to what Celsius? So the correct one, it will be 176 degree Fahrenheit, because what we have here 353, right? And 353, if we want to convert it, to be equal to TC plus 273. So temperature of Celsius, it will be 80. But here in 80, what we have Fahrenheit? No, it should be Celsius, and we have here negative 8 Celsius, degrees Celsius. No, it's not correct. It should be positive 80 degrees Celsius. So A and D are not correct, and also C. So the one which is left, that's converting to TF, which is the temperature of Fahrenheit, because if we make 80 is equal to the Fahrenheit temperature minus 32, right? Here it will be over 80, and here it will be over 100. So when you will make crisscross, you will find 176 degree Fahrenheit. So the correct answer for question number 43 is 176 degree Fahrenheit. Okay, now let's go for question number 44. It says we use a convex mirror in a car for viewing an outside ray phenomenon because dash it has narrow field of view, or the image is always real, or it has wide field of view, or the image is always enlarged. The correct answer for question number 44 is D. The image is always enlarged. When you use convex mirror in a car for viewing an outside ray phenomenon, because what the image is always enlarged. Now in question number 45, we have a series circuit, right? A series circuit. What we will make? We will make R1 plus R2, right? To find the series circuit, or to find the resistance, the total resistance. We have here two resistance, but to find the total resistance in series circuit, it will be R1 plus R2. So that means 5 plus 10 ohm is equal to 15 ohm. So the correct answer for question number 45 is D. But if it was parallel circuit, it will be R1 times R2 over R1 plus R2 if it was in parallel. If it was in parallel, it will be like this, but here it is in series. So this was the last answer for the last question in this model. Inshallah, I hope that you benefit from this video and you gain new informations and how to solve the answers or the questions in this model. Inshallah, in the next coming videos we are gonna to make more videos about models and solving it together. Thank you for watching and thank you for listening. Goodbye.